I apply the pressure. I apply the pressure. I apply the pressure. Yeah, pressure. I apply the pressure.
2015, I was in Oxford. I was working in the kitchen at the time. I was a line prep. I wasn't a cook. So this time, right, we were sitting back chilling. It was finna be lunchtime, and all of a sudden you hear the alarms going off. So I mean, these alarms that I'm talking about, they was for lockdown protocols, and everybody know what it is when you hear these alarms. So when the alarms go off, everybody run to the window to see what's going on. I happen to see the guards, and they happen to be running towards the office so they can get switched out into riot gears and all that. You know what I'm talking about, how this shit work when you in the prison. But anyhow, I'm going to the windows and I'm watching this, and as time goes on, everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. So we discuss it amongst ourselves. Because I happen to see the riot gear come out and they run into the units, and they not just running in one direction, they running to every direction. It's only two sides to a joint, and you got 4 housing units. So they're running to both sides. And, usually when they go up, everything go up. But everybody in the kitchen is on standby. We all sectioning off into our particular groups. You know what I'm saying? You got the Mexicans, you got the blacks, you got the whites. Everybody sectioning off into a particular group and preparing themselves mentally and physically for what's finna go down. So at this time, motherfucker get word that we already know we got we got Norteños on the deck. We happen to get a truckload of Surenos, should I say. So they're at odds in California with each other, and they're not supposed to walk the yard with each other. So, I mean, we didn't notice at the time that the housing units was going up like this between them. But that's exactly what was going on. And, I mean, we were already in the kitchen was preparing ourselves. So when they dispersed us and we went back to the housing units.
Did y'all have knives in the kitchen?
Of course. Everybody got knives everywhere.
What type of knives did y'all have?
Homemade knives, the ones that we made from out of can tops. And all you got to do with the can tops is do like everything else, sharpen the motherfucking tip up. You sharpen the tip up and you ready to rock and roll. Wrap it on up. Ready to rock. But at this time, though, when we get back to the housing units, we a motherfucker doing everything they can to try to find out what's going on, like I say, in the kitchen, because you in the kitchen, you isolated from the rest of the housing units. So when we get back to the units, motherfuckers tell us, like, it just went up with the Norteños and Surenos. So, like I say, when you in prison, it's certain groups that ain't supposed to walk the yard with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have Peckerwoods walking the yard with Aryans, because they'll eventually get into it with each other. They might be on the same thing, but they'll get into it with each other for supremacy. Just like you can't have DC dudes walk the yard with Chicago dudes, because they'll get into it with each other. Two dudes of the same caliber, but they got different mindsets on how things should be ran. So, I mean, you run things the way that you supposed to run it, the way that you were taught to run it. So naturally, you're going to clash with a motherfucker with an opposite view of how things are supposed to be ran.
What happened with the Mexicans?
So they end up sending up every unit, because when you come in, ain't no just particular unit that they send you to. So they sent them to every unit, and every unit went up on site. It's on site with Surenos and Norteños. So they ended up sending it up. They ended up having the unit crews come in, clean the blood up, all of this here. And eventually they sent all the Norteños to the hole for fighting. And they let the Surenos walk the yard for a little while till it was time for the Norteños to get out. And when the Norteños got out, the day before, they packed all the Surenos up and shipped them out. But eventually, the surenos would come back, and they would end up getting rid of the norteños.
Did anybody get killed?
You had 12 people go to the hospital. Nobody got killed. At this particular ride, nobody got killed. You had 12 to 15 people go to the hospital for being beat severely. But, I mean, it was a headache for everybody else because you have to go on lockdown for no less than 30 days. It can exceed that, but you have to go on lockdown for 30 days. Crazy stories with your homeboy, Crazy to Don. Check him out, man. I'll be back next week with another crazy story. Something wrong with you.
I apply the pressure. I apply the pressure. I apply the pressure. Yeah, pressure. I apply the pressure.